Willkommen bei EinChris zockt Fallout 4 wie ein geiles Tier, bis ich krepiere. Yo! Subscribe für den epischen Zeitvertreib. Supply Runs wurden getätigt, wie man hier in der Munition wieder mal sehen kann. Und ich bin jetzt am Weg, mir die Missionsbelohnung abzuholen vom Father. Yep. Power relay coil, what the fuck is that?
Someone there. What's that?
Was macht der da? Ein Synth. Okay, warte mal, wohin muss ich überhaupt? Ich hab's mal wieder keinen Plan. Was? What the fuck? Nee, warte mal.
Gonna be a good fight.
Weiter auf. What the fuck? Bin verwirrt. Ja, wird schon richtig sein. Wird schon passt am ersten. Ich muss ihm nicht mal Headshots geben, die gehen dauern. Bist du deppert, sag ich dir nur. Na, weiter. What the fuck? Nee, warte, da ist was. Wo ist er jetzt, der Daddy? The Father. Muss ich da runter? So, jetzt bin ich. Das war ziemlich scheiße mal wieder. Fuck, Alter, ich hasse dieses Labyrinth-Kacke hier. Meine Güte, Alter. Fuck. Jetzt bin ich einmal im Kreis gelaufen, sehr gut. Erst, what the fuck, was wollt sie von mir? Da geht's nicht durch, what the fuck? Alter, ihr müsst mich verarschen. Bitte, what the fuck? Ja, okay, und wie jetzt? Muss ich das auch mal tun? Nee, warte mal. Und da komme ich doch, Alter, ich pack's nicht. Nee. Aber da kann ich auch nicht hin. Da kann ich nicht hin, was wollt ihr? Fuck. Oder? Komme ich von da? Warte mal. Von da komme ich ja. Alter, bitte, meine Fresse. Bin ich runtergefallen? Oh, vielleicht gibt es dieses Stiegenhaus. Oh, auch noch auf der anderen Seite. Wäre halt extra schwul. Okay. Das ist so gay gerade. Ach Gott, das ist so lächerlich. Oh. Irgendwas muss ich doch übersehen. Wieso bin ich so dumm? Wieso ist er nicht? Alter, nein, oder? Nein, Alter, wie dumm bin ich eigentlich? Ich pack's nicht. Ich bin so ein Heisel. Was macht der? Der steht da. Kann er noch irgendwo sterben? Oh Gott, der kann sowas von sterben. What? Lol. Das Game ist so intense. Oh my God.
You know, in all my years, I've never set foot outside the Institute. Not once. Since the day they brought me here. I've never had a reason. But now, this just confirms the truth I've always known. The Commonwealth is dead. There's no future.
Yes.
But now, this just confirms the truth I've always known. The Commonwealth is dead. There's no future here. The only hope for humanity lies below.
It's not so bad, really. People manage.
Perhaps. But at a cost too great to be worth it. Standing here, I'm reminded of how fortunate I am that I was spared a life in this wasteland. I know that to you, I was kidnapped from that vault. In truth, the Institute rescued me. Both of us, really.
They kept me alive, too.
They did, indeed. I was the perfect candidate. An infant with uncorrupted DNA. But if something were to go wrong, if I died, well, the Institute realized a contingency plan was prudent. Another source of pre-war DNA, preferably related to their primary subject. It only made sense that my parents should fill that role. So you were kept alive and safe within the vault. I'll admit, when I had you released from Vault 111, I had no expectations that you'd survive out here in all this. To not only do so, but manage to find me. To infiltrate the Institute itself. Extraordinary.
So it was you. You let me out.
Yes. It was my decision. Certainly it was no longer necessary to keep you suspended. Well, I suppose I wanted to see what would happen. An experiment of sorts. I had no idea what kind of man you were, you see. Would the Commonwealth corrupt you? As it has everything else? Would you even survive? Perhaps most curious to me, would you, after all this time, attempt to find me. And now I know the answer.
Alter, nee, oder?
Well, here I am. Was it worth it?
I believe so. There are greater things to come after your success.
That's all this is to you? All I am to you? Just another experiment?
No, that's not all. But still, I'm glad it turned out the way it did. There are great...
Shaun, you need to know. I still love you.
I can see that you do. It's... well, it's remarkable. There are greater things to come after your success at Bunker Hill. The synths have been safely returned and will be repurposed. Thank you for your work. I hope you weren't at too much risk.
What do you mean, the synths will be repurposed?
Modifications will be made to correct the defects in their programming, and they'll be assigned to new duties within the Institute. Not the first or last time it will happen. The railroad remains an annoyance, of course, but they'll be dealt with as necessary. And you, well, you've passed the test, as they say. You have done well. Please, take this as a token of my appreciation, our appreciation, really. It's time for you to become more involved in the future of the Institute. I'd like you to join me inside. The Directorate is meeting, and you should be there. I'll be waiting. I've seen enough. It's time to go back in.
Okay, ich mache hier ein Safe-Game, falls ich irgendwann einmal das Institut zerficken will. Aber anscheinend bin ich im Moment ein Sklave des Instituts. Slave of the Institute. Da kann man einfach nichts dagegen sagen. Aber irgendwie ist das Institut irgendwie cool. Kann man nicht helfen. Irgendwie fühle ich mich aber trotzdem komisch. So schwer, so schwer. Ein Leben im Luxus im Institut. Dafür Menschlichkeit opfern.
Nice work.
Für den Sterblichen.
Old synth back.
Let's get this Directorate meeting over with before we speak further. It's... well, it's important.
Shaun,
Let's get this Directorate meeting over with before we speak further. It's... well, it's important.
Hä? Was?
Let's get this Directorate meeting over with before we speak further. It's... well, it's important.
son,
Let's get this Directorate meeting
What
over
the
with
fuck?
before we speak further. It's... well, it's important.
Mach halt mal. Hä? Wo ist der Piss auf einmal?
Call this a clean floor. Are your visual receptors malfunctioning? Can you not see the
Good,
grime
we're all
and dust?
here. I think it's time we begin.
Sir, excuse me.
You call this a clean floor. Are your visual receptors malfunctioning? Can you not see the grime and dust?
Eye visual or what?
Good, we're all here. I think it's
Don't make
time we
excuses.
begin.
You're
Sir,
clearly different,
excuse
and I
me, but
intend to
what
report
exactly is he doing here?
I will address that issue.
We can use
But there are
some
other
components to
subjects
make
that
something
require
that's
our
actually useful.
attention first. The level of unrest in the Commonwealth continues to rise, as we're all aware. Your report.
All Institute facilities remain completely secure with the exception of one notable breach. Otherwise, internally, things are as tight as they've ever been. Dr. Ao has been keeping an eye on things topside.
Yes, Watchers show no additional threats beyond those previously identified. We're still monitoring the increased activity around Fort Independence, but there are no immediate signs we should be concerned. Boston International Airport remains occupied, with Brotherhood presence noted at several other points throughout the Commonwealth. Intelligence suggests that this railroad continues to operate and is becoming more ambitious. SRB agents are monitoring all known situations, sir.
Very good, thank you. It's clear that our safety needs to be the primary concern going forward. To that end, where are we on Phase 3?
Sir, are you sure this is the time to be discussing it? Given, well, considering all parties present?
Ah, yes, that's true. Have you heard anything about Phase 3?
Of course. No, I don't.
What's Phase 3?
It's very important to us. Power is, as I'm sure you've seen above ground, a very valuable commodity. I'm not talking about some abstract concept of control. I mean real, tangible power. The kind that keeps the lights on. With every advance the Institute makes, our need for raw power increases. Many compromises and sacrifices have been made over the years to allow progress to continue.
What kind of compromises?
We have at times had to rely on drawing power from above-ground installations. It risks personnel and equipment, but no longer. Phase 3 is simply the activation of a nuclear reactor that can provide enough power to the Institute now and forever. It will ensure not just our survival, but our prosperity.
Can you tell me more about this reactor?
Certainly. It was originally built for the Commonwealth Institute of Technology before the war, but was only for testing. Over the years, we've advanced the technology, made a great many improvements, and are finally nearly ready to activate it. The reactor is close to ready, but recent tests have determined we have a few tasks ahead of us. Thus, we come to Phase 3, and to how you will help.
Sir.
Yes, Dr. Ao. Previously, we would rely on Kellogg for above-ground operations, yes? Well, he is gone. While I'm not overly fond of putting my own father in harm's way, he has proven more than capable of handling himself.
Yes, but...
This is not a matter for debate. Now, there is one more subject that requires discussion.
I don't know that this is the time.
Dr. Holdren, it is time. Please, as I'm sure several of you are already aware, I have been under Dr. Volkert's care for some time. I'm sorry, this is difficult for me. Our best efforts have failed. Every experimental treatment we could devise has been unsuccessful. I'm sorry to say I am dying.
What?
Can't be
Please,
serious.
everyone, please, I am sorry. This is not how I wanted to tell you, but we're running out of time.
What the fuck?
You're dying?
I'm afraid so. A very aggressive form of cancer. Believe me when I say we've done everything we can. We can talk more later. Right now, the future of the Institute is at stake. The Institute cannot survive without leadership. The Directorate must continue to govern with the best interest of all in mind. To that end, I am naming my father as my successor.
Oh, boy.
You can't be serious!
Really?
Seems a poor choice.
How can you possibly justify this? He isn't one of us. He isn't even a scientist.
Ignoring your borderline, insubordinate tone, I will simply say this. The Institute has enough scientists. What it needs is a leader. I believe my father has already proven himself more than capable in that regard. This will conclude this meeting. Thank you.
Humanity's future is taking root right here.
We don't usually welcome outsiders. I hope you can appreciate your good fortune.
This truly is a wonderful place, isn't it?
I had no idea.
I know this is... well, it's a lot to take in at once.
I'm sorry, Father. I hope it wasn't too presumptuous of me to put you in charge without even asking first.
I can do the job.
Of course you can. That's why I made the decision. There's no question that some of the Directorate and the Institute at large will need reassurances about your appointment. That's why I'd like you to take charge of this latest operation. Dr. Fillmore can fill you in on the details. There are hard decisions ahead for all of us, but for you especially. I know that you'll do the right thing.
Das. Ja, what the fuck. Mass Fusion. Na, sehr sad. Ja, Leute, wir sehen uns gleich wieder in der nächsten Folge Fallout 4. Dem geilsten Game ever. Ja, ich glaube, das Game spitzt sich schon langsam zu. Na gut. See ya.